Your hosts find themselves adventuring into the forests of the mysterious kingdom for the first time. And with this quest comes a prophetic warning. Caution, you may get wet. This is Opposite Attractions.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Opposite Attractions, the show about theme park design that's technically possible. I am your host, Scottye Moore, joined as always by the thousandth happy haunt himself, Jim Murphy. Jim Murphy.
Fun fact. I do have a fun fact to start out. My character for this season, he is kind of like known as someone for people to call when there is an emergency, and so whenever there's an emergency, they just look around and they go, "Let's get dangerous."
Oh, motherfucker, Jim. Or if you're my character, it's just grunk, 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 grunk.
Get grunk.
Get grunk. Let's get grunk.
Oh, there's your shirt. Let's get drunk.
So, I did a travel this weekend. I did a whole lot of travel, and Jim, I've never felt more sorry for people who live more than a 2-hour plane ride from Disney World. Because getting to Seattle from Alabama is a fucking deal.
What's that like? It's like 9-hour flight? 7 hour?
It was 4 hours of hell, 14 hours of hell, Jim Murphy.
Well, you had a 6-hour layover.
No, because I only had a 1-hour layover in New York, and that was still a 14-hour travel day. It was garbage no matter what. Someone thought I was the devil at one point, or at least
they must have met you.
Look, this is off fucking topic, but the story needs to be told on a medium where people can hear this. I was in my Uber. I've had a long day at PodCon, shilling my podcasts, and I just want to get back to my hotel room and rest. I hadn't taken my anxiety shit, so that's acting up. And I'm just sitting in my Uber, and we find like a construction site area where they're like working on the roads, and there's a scoop boy, or is that what they're called? The scoop boy on the construction site that just scoops things. Well, one of those are in front of us, and we're waiting for him to get into his home, which is the construction site. And all of a sudden, this Tilda Swinton looking motherfucker walks in front of our car with a hood on. I thought she was the bad guy from Glass. She looked so creepy. And is just like staring daggers into my Uber driver. You know when Ronda Rousey gets crazy? Like, cause she'll be smiling and then just like looking through the eyebrows. That's what she was doing at my Uber driver. And I'm just sitting back like, maybe this is just the person the construction site sends out to be like, stop and then go. But it wasn't. Because another person walks up to do that. And so I'm like, what the fuck is this woman's deal? And so finally they're like, you can go. And then to finish it up and be like, let's really get that anxiety train going for Scottye. She just puts up the sign of the fucking cross at us like a Naruto character, just holding it out at us. And I'm like, okay. Either way,
and this was in New York? This was in New York?
This was Seattle.
Okay.
So maybe she just had too much coffee. I don't know. But I do know this, Jim. She either put a weird-ass anime curse on my car and it was about to explode, or that my Uber driver that day was the devil himself and she was trying to exorcise him from me. But either way, I was scared as hell for the next fucking 5 hours. until I found out that I could get free cookies on Uber Eats. So I just did that, and it made me feel better. So how has the podcast theme park world been? Has there been any fun news, or is it still just Disney World serves alcohol now?
Everything Disney does is expensive.
No.
I did discuss either today or I think it was either today or yesterday about how like people were complaining that like stuff's broken around the parks, like we talked about last week with Toy Story Land.
Yeah.
And it's literally like, I feel like if Disney doesn't like to spend money on the parks unless it also makes them money in return, and I feel like they think that not having clean bathrooms does not make them money.
Yeah, I mean, I don't care. I'm in the happiest place on earth. I'll poop on a dirty toilet seat.
I think it's just because like the complaints people have don't stop people from going there. Like there's more people going every single year.
Yeah.
So they really just don't care. Like people would have to like not go. Like they would have to lose a considerable amount of like visitor base for them to go, oh crap, maybe we need to like sweep up better.
As someone who has been to Disney Quest, I can tell you without a doubt that Disney won't spend money on things that don't give them money. So much. Disney Quest made them so little money and they gave so little shits that the last like month it was open, they were like, I don't know. If you work at Disney, come on in for free. We don't care. Like, all right, cool.
Yeah, there's a chance you might spend money at the concession stand.
I don't even think that was open when I went. I think they were like, "We're done. It's okay."
I don't remember if I ate something there or not. I might have got a soda there. I don't remember if I ate food.
Mm-mm. Well, when you
it
can
called
walk,
Questport or something.
No, when you can walk outside and then go like a few steps over to Bowl-O-Rama or whatever it's called, where you can get a bowl of vodka. I'm like, I'm just gonna wait for a few guys. We had to have talked about that on the show, right? Where I just walked in.
Yeah, that's something that seems like that's like your white whale type of situation. Like I'm gonna beat this one day.
Oh no, it's like, like it's the alcoholic version of the kitchen sink.
Yeah,
like one day I'll get it. No.
You're just walking out of the store. You just hand them like a 3/4 empty bowl. Like, not this time, guys. I'll be back tomorrow.
I'll It's called the garbage can, and if you can finish it and not have to go to the hospital or the new police station, you're fine. But yeah, that was the day I found the sweet tea moonshine at I don't know, barbecue joint McFuckeries. I can't remember what it's called.
Is that at Homecoming? Is that at Homecoming?
Yes, it is. It's very good.
That sounds like something Art Smith would give people.
They give it to you in a squeeze bottle, and you can just like go refill it whenever you want.
Why?
That's the weird thing about, because I love the Edison. The Edison's fantastic, but it feels weird to go from your squeeze bottle of fucking sweet liquor to the bowl of alcohol that you get at the bowling alley into the Edison, where it's like, and this is a very lovely drink. It'll give you hints of whiskey and mint, and then your aftertaste will be amazing. And I'm like, oh, thank you.
And that drink is like $14, and it's 2.5 ounces.
Jim, that drink, I've talked about it before, the leather and tweed. That drink is still the best thing I've ever had in my life. I go back every time I pass the Edison. I'm like, I must have it. I also had their mac and cheese, which I could only describe as better craft mac and cheese.
Handcraft mac and cheese.
Handcraft mac and cheese. Like, they got the blue box, they prepared it as it normal, but then they're like, but also I'm gonna add a little bit of seasoning and breadcrumbs, and here you go, guys. So you went crazy on Twitter this week.
Yeah,
our favorite boy Fidgement.
I just decided to pitch that I think they should keep Figment, of course, but they should change it to some. I said STEM, science, tech, engineering, math, whatever the heck those letters stand for.
Yeah.
And also I said that they could go to the movie theater next door and put in a 3D movie about science with Bill Nye and Ellen DeGeneres.
Yeah. Jim, I'm a theater major. I have no idea what STEM is. My girl...
It's everything that isn't theater.
My girlfriend one day was just like, I don't know, I think I could just probably get a nice STEM job somewhere. And I'm like, that sounds sexual.
You're going to be a branch.
I'm like, I don't know what that means. It sounds oddly sexual, though.
But then somebody went back to me and said, oh, it should be STEAM because the arts should be in there and it should focus on the arts. And it's like, well, I kind of meant that, but like, whatever. I can include that in there.
Yeah.
It's not a big deal. But I just feel like I feel like the educational part of Epcot is ignored and it shouldn't be. Like, I understand like having fun and riding roller coasters and stuff like that, but like I feel like they're missing something if you go into Test Track and it's not about like, it's kind of about the cars, but you don't really learn like what that is. Like, I wish there was some part of it that was like, oh, this is actually how you could like grow up and do this, kids.
Well, not only that, it's also a matter of like, they don't show you how the thing, like what the things you were doing, what difference it fucking makes. It's just like,
you put a giant flame patch on the side of this and it goes faster.
Yeah, and it's just like, oh, your car has a little bumpus at the top now and it goes slower, but we're not going to tell you why. We're just going to let that bumpus ride up there, buddy. My favorite thing about riding that ride is when there's like a grown-ass man next to you, but you both turn into children for about 5 minutes, as at the end when they're like rating your cars, you're like, mine beats you, fuck off, I got this.
Yeah, like, I've had the number one time and I was very happy.
I don't think I paid attention because I literally lost my phone in the seat of the car that I was in, and so afterwards I went back like, please give me my phone and tell me it did not hurtle out of that car at 60 miles per hour.
Have you ever seen those cars stop?
No.
Like when they're not supposed to?
What?
It's not fun.
That sounds terrifying.
Because it's only an 11, it's between an 11 and 13 second gap between every car. And I think if it goes smaller than that, it shuts it down and they hit their brakes.
Oh, shit.
And so if you're going 65 and it hits the brakes, you stop fairly quickly.
And then you die.
And then you're on a 60-degree incline or a 48-degree incline, whatever that incline is.
So, Jim, this is a podcast where we build a theme park, as no one knows if they listen to the first 10 minutes. And, of course, this season, we're building the Magic Kingdom, a great theme park for kids and adults alike to enjoy.
It's the Mysterious Kingdom. The Magic Kingdom is copyrighted.
Which I'm basically just describing as D&D, the theme park, is that right?
Absolutely, that works for me.
Where you just,
that's where I am.
You build your own character, you get to go and do quests, but also there are theme park rides that, dads can ride when they're like, fuck these kids! I don't want to go to quest, I just want to go ride! Alright, Dad. Oh, shit, I just now realized one major problem with it. And it's the fact that, like, roller coasters have height limits. So the fucking 5-year-old who's trying to complete all his quests can't, because most of our quests end at, like, rides and shit.
Yeah, but I think we can figure out a way around that.
Get on there, Billy. You can make it. And that's the last time we saw Billy.
I had this idea of, like, kind of going the direction of kind of like the Sheikah Slate from Legend of Zelda. Where, like, you use your phone to do stuff.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
So, I'm calling it the App of Holding is what I'm calling it.
Mm-hmm. Well, they did something similar. I got the, for the Adventure Zone fans out there, I got the Taco's School of Magic, Mystery, and Cantrips from...
I'm very jealous.
Yeah, that the Mysterious Package Company put out. And they had it was a website, it wasn't an app, but you could go to, and it would turn your phone into a Stone of Far speech. And then you can type things into that. So that's what I'm feeling, is we get an app that's like that. But, of course, every week we have a challenge we must complete in addition to just trying to build a theme park. And you issued the challenge. You threw down the gauntlet and said we had to...
I've created a gauntlet is what I've created.
And you wanted us to build It's a Small World D&D edition, a nice little water ride.
Yeah, mine goes a little off the rails very quickly, even though water rides don't have rails. Well, actually, some of them do.
Oh, Jim, mine does too. It's okay. You know who I am. All right, I will give you the floor then, sir.
I'm going. My quest goes kind of back to the whole app thing, because I'm thinking that like that would be how guests would kind of keep track of what their quests were, but also like if there were like, instead of having like real props involved, sometimes it would just be like in your app. So if it would be like, take this thing to this other person, it would just be in your app. It wouldn't be like they're going to hand you like a piece of something.
Right. No, I'm fully with you on that.
So my quest is called the Metal Detector Quest.
Okay.
This actually would have a cost component to it. This is sort of similar to like the Remy scavenger hunt, or that they do for like they have Food and Wine, I think, where they have like they hide statues of Remy and fruits all over World Showcase.
Yeah, well, we've discussed this because they had one for Easter as well, where they hid all of the characters as eggs, and the most horrifying one was in Italy. At the top of that tall tower, there was a Goofy egg, but from far away, it don't look like an egg. It just looks like Goofy's at the top of this tower about to fucking jump. So that's where I was that day.
But the idea behind those is you pay like $6, and after you complete the little scavenger hunt, they give you a pin. So it's like 1 out of 5, and or you could just pay like the $30 and you just buy all the pins without even completing them. But my quest is sort of in that vein. So it's kind of short, but there is some steps you have to do to get to the end. So the idea is when you get the quest, the shopkeeper that gives you the quest says, hey, I need you to go over to the blacksmith, like the weapon shop guy, and I have this piece of bronze I want him to do something with. So they like do something in your app where it says you have this piece of bronze. You go to the blacksmith guy, and he says, oh, okay, and he like takes it from you, but then he says, hey, I also need a piece of silver. There's a silver mine in the woods that people just found. Like, go get me a piece of silver out of there. So you go into the trees and you find this mine. And it's kind of like the Tom Sawyer Island, like caves.
Okay.
So you go through this little, like, jump scary sort of... I mean, it might not even have jump scares, but just this little sort of mine. And at the end, there would be some sort of effect where it would, like you would scan your phone and it would put a silver piece into your app.
Okay, so essentially it's like that Ed, Ed, Nettie episode where they really wanted a jawbreaker, but then Rolf has to send them to tame his goats. But wait, after they get to the goats want them to go and find Naz to get something, and then they just all run back and give it to the same person.
Sarah, no!
Very good work, Ed boys. Okay, yes.
So you do that, then you go back to the blacksmith, and you give him the silver piece, and then he says, well, you know what? I also need a piece of gold. And I've heard that there's like a flooded mine where they might have gold. And so you go to this other, like, this is where the ride comes in. You go over to this other cave, and it's completely like, it looks completely flooded out. But it was like taken over by a group of rogues.
Okay.
Their main rogue is named Calamity Cliff.
Okay.
So he's just this, like, gruff-looking dude. So it's Calamity Cliff's Cavern Cruises.
Come on, kids!
It's essentially the Jungle Cruise through a cave.
Yes, thank you.
But the idea is that the idea behind it, like the underlying idea is that basically they're taking people into the caves to rob them.
Oh, okay.
But you don't know that when you get on the thing. You think you're going to, like, help them go in and find treasure. But and they would know if there were people on the boat that were, like, doing quests or characters. I'm thinking, like, if you decide to be, like, a wizard, you would have some sort of wardrobe thing that would, like, tell them that you're a wizard.
Okay.
Or something on your person.
They could read it. They could read it in the app as well, I would say.
Yeah. Yeah, there would be some way to tell the people on the boat that are like the host of or the skipper or whatever, that there are people on the boat that are playing the game. So you would go through and if you weren't, then it would just kind of be like a Jungle Cruise, like, jokey thing. And there would be like little effects, but like they would just kind of happen. There wouldn't be any real rhyme or reason for anything. But if there was players on the thing, he would like basically ask for help to get by things. And so the players would do something and then the effect would happen and it would like fix it. And you eventually end up getting into where this gold is. And it's like a screen-based effect where like as you go by, like some of the gold disappears off the top of the pile, like he took it.
Oh, okay, cool.
Because you can't like have the guy like dive off onto the side of off the side of the boat and like grab gold pieces. That's a little weird. But then when you get to the end of the ride, then he's like, "Hey, you got us through that. I'm not going to rob you, but I'm actually going to give you some of the gold because you helped me. Like you saved my life. I'm going to give you some of the gold." So then you go back to the blacksmith. And he's like, "Hey, I got all these pieces." And what you get is essentially like a keychain or a pin that's like gold and bronze and silver.
Oh, that's really cool.
And the idea is you're supposed to take it back to the shopkeeper. You don't have to. You can just keep it. But if you go back to the shopkeeper with it and say you're supposed to have this, I'm thinking like the shopkeeper would just let you keep it, but would also maybe give you some sort of bonus on the app that you could use for like some other quest.
Well, I like the idea almost of like having like a Chuck E. Cheese ticket situation where you get GP, so you can go spend your gold points with people to get like small little trinkets and baubles, or if you have a lot of them, there's like cool stuff you could get as well. But obviously terribly like, this should not cost 15 GP. This shouldn't cost 250 GP for me to get this packet of Skittles.
It's if you have an annual pass and you do 5 quests a day for 365 days, you can get a box of Twinkies that's out of date.
Yeah, or we've got a Razor scooter from 2001 that no one's been able to buy. Just come on in and grab that. I will say, if you want to add like more to this, you could literally just, instead of just go to the silver mines to get this one thing, it's like, I need silver, and I need rope, and I need this, and then you can go to 3 separate locations to get all 3. But I like that
I just
idea.
was trying to make something that was like shorter in time span. And then I didn't want to go for like the immediate quest that's like, this is going to take you 8 hours.
Right.
Strap in.
All right, let's get to mine, and mine doesn't really have a name because fuck it. So Jim Murphy, welcome, traveler. You find yourself in a tavern located in Main Town. There are, of course, people enjoying drink, beverages, and in the corner there's an old man in just some tattered ass robes, drinking from some sort of...
Why doesn't he wear his regular robes? Why does he have to wear his ass robes?
Yep, drinking from some mystical glowing cup. What do you do, traveler?
I ask him what's up.
Greetings! Greetings, child. My name is Tartanicus, the Wizard of the North. Was unfortunately disgraced due to some issues that we won't get into here, but I'm not allowed near Chuck E. Cheese. But you seem like a man who knows of treasure.
I'm okay.
You've been smoking on Gandalf's pipe, I can tell from that cough you've got. But let me tell you something I've got. It's a mystical gem, the Gem of the Taurus. And it awaits you within the great falls in the forest. But beware, traveler, it is protected by a mighty beast. If you retrieve the Gem of Taurus for me, I will reward you with 25 GP. But not anything can take it down, you see. You're going to need the mystical sword wielded by one of our kingdom's mightiest heroes, Magno. And then after that, if you accept that quest, you kind of go on like, it's kind of like a seek and find where you have to ask people like, where is this guy? Have you heard of this guy? Where's Magno at? And, you know, eventually through talk, it's kind of like how when they first opened Diagon Alley, none of the people outside were allowed to talk about it.
Yeah.
Like you had to ask around to find where it is.
Where is Magno?
Where is
He is in the Ring of Honor.
Yes, go find him. He's Nick Aldis now. Wrestle talk. Anyways, eventually you find Magno, and he's out like training in a field with his sword. It's like this big, beautiful, majestic sword, and he's doing like it's chopping through things that sword shit like a tree, but he's somehow cutting it down with his sword. And that's when you have to try to convince him. Like you can. I don't know how we would do battles, but maybe it's app driven. Like you could battle with him, or you can like use your persuasion skill to try to just get him to give you it, or you can even like use hospitality and ask him to join your group and he'll come with you to finish the quest. Either way, in your app eventually you'll get the sword and it'll appear there. And then that is when you go to the falls and begin the journey. You board a boat. And last week we talked about the fact that we don't want this to be like a Jurassic Park or a what's it called? Or a Splash Mountain kind of water ride where there's a big drop. But I was like, how we gonna get them wet? And Jim, the way we gonna get them wet is by sending them straight underneath the waterfall. Like we're just gonna have. Okay, hold on.
The underside of water.
Yeah, no, we go straight through the waterfall, but I just now realized if the ride breaks down, there will be just like one boat underneath the waterfall just getting slammed with water.
I mean, would it have a roof on it? Like the Jungle Cruise boats?
No. It's just getting wrecked with water. So you go underneath it, and
I would hope they would have a failsafe that would turn the water off.
No. Oh, wait, no. Here's what we could do instead. As every boat starts to pass underneath it, like the water almost opens like a curtain. So you get minor splashback, but you don't get like blasted with water. Oh, I still love the idea of like one boat just getting wrecked though. And then as you go inside, it looks a lot like Seven Dwarves, where you just have these beautiful gems in the wall, glowing, kind of sparkling. Then as you get closer through it, though, you just start hearing like this loud ass. And of course it gets louder as you go through until you eventually encounter the protector of the gem of the Taurus. Fuck, is that a water sign? I probably should have named it after a water sign.
Pisces. Taurus is the bull.
The Pisces gem. The Pisces crystal is what it's called. Excuse me. I'm sorry.
The fish diamond. Come and get the fish diamond.
You've defeated the water temple. But no, you get in there and you see protecting the Pisces crystal is a massive fucking Leviathan. And it's this huge animatronic beast that starts like roaring at you and coming after you. And so that's when you don't go like roller coaster levels, but the boat picks up pace. I'll tell you that right now. And there's like water.
Back over the falls.
Faster, must go faster.
You never rode Maelstrom, I guess.
Yeah. And then as you go through, there's like the Leviathan trying to chomp down on you until eventually it traps it like wedges itself between two rocks, and that's when like the sword will cut through the head and you've defeated it's dead now. And then you see the Pisces crystal just waiting on you at the end, glowing beautifully, and that is when you go out and you get to exit to the gift shop. And then, of course,
get your Pisces crystal keychains.
Oh, you fucking know it. That's definitely happening. And then after that, you get to take the crystal back to the old man. He's like, thank you. I can take it back to my kingdom and no longer be a disgraced old man. And you get your 25 GPs. And so that is my ride, which I guess I'll tentatively call, like, the Cave of the Leviathan or some shit like that. But that was our water ride, Jim. But next week, we've got a new challenge. And this challenge involves them good old D&D trolls themselves, goblins. I just want a shit ton of gerblins on this ride, baby. So next week, Jim, bring us some gerblins. But until then, Jim, where can people find you on the motherfucking internet?
I'm on Twitter at apparently smart and not many other places. You can find Russ probably passed out in a bed somewhere.
And you can find Grunk drinking at tavern Scottye started talking about. Yeah, Grunk heard me say tavern, and that was it. He didn't do any of the quests. He just has been at the tavern the whole time. And you can find me on Twitter at ScottyMo, SCOTTYEMO. Buy all my books on Amazon, the Queasel Corp trilogy, BS versus the Gods. Check that out. Check out all the other shows at aloadofpurebs.com, ladies and gentlemen. And remember to support us on Patreon, like Ransom Meltzer, the good Patreon boy he is over at patreon.com/aloadofbs. And remember to find Jim and me on Twitter at OpAtShow. That's spelled OPPATTSHOW. Are you down with OPP?